My son didn't pick up the phone for 2 weeks. So I decided to stop by his house quietly. I still remember the day my world shattered, when I found my grandson, Matthew, clinging to an empty water bottle under his bed, his eyes hollow and lifeless. That chilling silence screamed louder than any scream, telling me something truly horrific had happened to my son, Daniel. You know, sometimes a journey isn't just about covering distance. It's about walking straight into your worst nightmare. That's how it felt taking that first bus to Chicago. 3 hours of absolute silence, my eyes glued to the window, my heart a tight, suffocating knot in my chest. Even holding the ticket, my hands wouldn't stop trembling. By the time I got off at the main terminal, the sun was already dipping below the horizon, casting long, unsettling shadows. I practically ran towards Daniel's gated community, a path I'd walked countless times to visit him and my precious grandson, Matthew. But this time, every single step felt heavy, like lead weights dragging me into a horror story. When I finally stood before that familiar wooden door, I started with gentle knocks, then louder, desperate pounding. "Daniel, Matthew," I shouted, my voice cracking in the cold air, completely swallowed by the silence. No answer. Just on a whim, I tried the doorknob. To my horror, it creaked open. Unlocked. My heart hammered against my ribs, 1,000 beats a minute. Daniel never left the door unlocked. He was so meticulous, so careful, especially with Matthew home. I pushed it open slowly, holding my breath, terrified that the slightest sound might shatter whatever fragile reality I was clinging to. And then I saw it. The living room was a war zone. The sofa was violently shoved out of place, like a rage-fueled tantrum. On the floor, a coffee mug lay in 1,000 jagged pieces, white porcelain mixed with a dark, dried coffee stain. My legs felt like jelly, but I forced myself to step over it, careful not to crunch glass underfoot. The kitchen was just as bad. A tipped water cooler, empty plastic bottles scattered everywhere, uncapped, as if someone had chugged them down in a frantic panic. The whole house reeked of dampness, a heavy, suffocating silence that sent chills crawling up my spine. Dragging my feet, each step feeling like I was pulling a stone, I went upstairs. My own heartbeat was deafening in my ears. Daniel's home office? Empty. His bedroom? Empty too. The bed was still made, eerily untouched, no sign of life whatsoever. Finally, I reached Matthew's room. "Matthew, where are you, sweetie?" My voice was hoarse, desperate. Still nothing. I stood in the middle of his room, just looking at his toys, the Lego blocks, his worn-out teddy bear. My heart was breaking into a million pieces. Then a tiny sound. From under the bed. A soft scraping, like a plastic bottle rolling on the hardwood floor. I froze. A literal chill shot down my entire back. My heart. It was pounding so hard I thought it would just explode out of my chest. There was something under there. I wanted to bend down to see, but my feet were glued to. Full story video added in below.